Hey guys, Weston here with Defensive Concepts Training.
And Hayden as well.
We're here again. This is going to be take two of our weapons configuration video. We're intending to give a very brief kind of breakdown of the weapons that we use, why they're set up the way they're set up, not go into too great of detail of what we got going on.
Yep, just quick down and dirty basically.
The first thing we're going to start off with is the plinking. All the fun stuff's right here. I think him and I both just have 22s. Mine's just a Rigger 1022, super cheap little Bushnell red dot on it. I use this, my kids shoot it all the time. I love shooting this thing. It's super fun. With the plinking sort of stuff, I don't really care how reliable the red dot was. It was the cost was the biggest factor. 75, 50 bucks, I think, for this guy, and it works well and good enough for me.
Yep, mine's a 22 mag. I've got another 22 that I don't really use, but generally speaking, when we go out plinking or if we go out like on a squirrel hunt or something like this is what's going with. Right now we're running irons. Irons work, they're just fine. There was a scope that came with it. The scope was a Simmons scope. Couldn't get it to zero, so we've taken that off and gonna put something else on it, like a crossfire or something. Nothing crazy, something fun.
This real quick, this is just gonna be a Rigger Mark IV little 22 pistol I bought for the kids to teach them how to shoot pistols because they're young and they have small hands and full-size Glocks don't fit in small hands. Yeah. So something like this works. Once again, super cheap little Vortex red dot on there, the Vortex Viper little red dot. Other than that, it's completely stock.
Yeah. Cool. I don't really have a plinking setup for a pistol. Just Weston's a big pistol guy. I'm not. I'm a big rifle guy, so that's kind of why. I've got a couple other 22s, but that's the primary one, so that's why I've talked about it.
I'm a huge fan of pistols. I was trying to sell guns to make a purchase, and I couldn't find a single pistol to sell. It's kind of a problem. All right. Yep. Speaking of pistols, we're going to be moving into our concealed carry pistols. Very basic stock Glock 19 right here, Dawson precision sights, and little cheap Hollow Sun red dot. We have a whole video out on concealed carry talking about like why I chose this particular pistol, but essentially it's a small, reliable pistol.
Yep, goes bang every time. I got a very similar setup. There's just two differences. I mean, you could say I swapped the optic for the light kind of deal. Eventually, I am wanting to get a light on this, but a red dot. Yeah, sorry. Yep, thanks.
You're welcome.
I already have the light, but couple difference, like he said, we've already got a video out as to why, but Glock's a super reliable gun. It goes bang when you pull the trigger. They're accurate, and that's why we go with it.
I'm not a Glock shill, even though I am wearing a Glock hat, but the pistols I chose today are Glocks. This is going to kind of the duty pistol, so him and I are both in light ND right there. Both him and I are in law enforcement. This isn't our exact duty pistol, but this is very similar to what we carry. It is a full-sized pistol with a good, reliable red dot. I've got the Steiner MPS on here and a full-sized light. Ignore the little cheap plastic sights. I just haven't upgraded them to an actual, better iron sight system on this pistol.
Yep. I don't have a duty hand. Well, I mean, you can consider technically right now my 19 would be considered my duty.
It fits the same rolls. It's a little smaller, but it can't fill the same role.
Absolutely. So my belt is configured for it right now, but I'm in the market right now to actually get a full size one, get a very similar setup to what you have there.
This could technically fit the concealed carry role for a guy like me who's willing to make the sacrifices to do that. However, I'm also lazy and cheap, which is why I'm still rolling this because I have the gear for it.
Yep.
Lastly, for the pistol size setup, we're going to talk about my competition pistol real quick. It's a Glock 34. Once again, upgraded sights. The only modifications I've made is a slightly lighter striker spring in there, a weighted little thing to fill in the little back spot of the Glock to make it a little bit heavier, and a Glock performance trigger with a larger window optic. These are very popular in competition because it lets you pick up that dot a lot faster. But it comes at a cost of reliability. It's not going to be as reliable as your smaller duty red dots.
Yep, for sure. And again, diving into competition too. I don't have one. Essentially going to be shooting what I've got at the moment, but you're kind of piquing my interest with that. So we'll see what happens.
Anything can be a competition gun. Guys will run super modified stuff. I choose not to. I have my own philosophy about my competition guns, which I'm sure we'll talk about at some point.
Absolutely will. All right,
let's do
my realm.
This is all his. This is his baby.
Yes,
his baby.
Yes, it is. So what I've got right here. So this is my main squeeze, my go-to rifle, so to speak. Quick down and dirty setup. It's a General Defense DDM4 V9. The V9 is just the designation for the handguard. Choose a 16-inch barrel because we live in a very rural very rural home,
Yes.
right? That we could be in an urban environment and subdivisions, but then literally 5 minutes down the road, we're in agriculture as well.
Our area is very unique in the fact that within 20 to 30 minutes of anywhere in our metropolitan, air quotes, area, we can be within very rural areas, out in the mountains within 20 minutes from anywhere.
Yep, absolutely. You know, and like I said, subdivisions, you could be downtown. So 16-inch gun covers pretty much all of that. It's not the best at CQB, but it allows me to have that the legs and the length to get out and shoot a distance if need be.
Marines were doing CQB with saws in Battle Fallujah. The whole length on CQB is one of my pet peeves.
Yep.
People were doing more stuff with bigger guns than what we do with.
Absolutely. And as we're trying not to dive in too much, but velocity matters when it comes to 5.56 until you start getting into specialized cartridges. So in general, for my hated air quotes, general purpose rifle.
General purpose duty. I don't know. I don't know good phrases, man. I can't come up with
I know,
one.
but this is what I choose to run. It runs great. 16-inch barrel. I get those velocities that I need at range. Can stretch the legs out if needed. Not really too many modifications to it. Honestly, I really like a good in-spec, mil-spec weapon system. I've got the hand stop from the CAG hand stop from BCM. I like that for consistent grip. For my Surefire Pro Scout light up here, running a 1-6 again, 16-inch gun. Be able to stretch the legs out a little bit. It's a Strike Eagle, first gen Strike Eagle. So I've had it for 10 years pretty much at this point. I got an ambidextrous safety. I got the Radian. I do like it a lot. It's 45-degree throw. I like it a lot. Some people don't.
I had a problem with a 45-degree safety. That's just me and the way I shoot rifles. Though.
Right. Yeah. And then replace the stock for a SOP mod stock. I like the cheek weld, cheek purchase for the optic that's on there. Ambidextrous charging handle. This is a BCM. Originally came with, it's an older Daniel Defense. Came with a standard mil-spec charging handle. Swap that out. Like it a lot. Scavenge a mag release from another rifle to throw on there because I'm kind of cheap in some ways. And then a bad lever because I shoot left-handed, so I like to be able to drop the bolt and operate it and manipulate it in that fashion. And then what you really need is a sling, a way for the gun to stay on your body. And I like a 2-to-1 sling, very simplistic. It's an old school MS3 from Magpul. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. And that's pretty well the setup. Oh, one quick. Don't like muzzle brakes on the end. I prefer some type of flash hider. And Daniel Defense's enhanced flash hider is actually pretty dang good. So I leave it alone.
Muzzle brakes are fantastic for competition shooting.
For sure.
However, anything outside of that realm, I don't like them. They're very loud, they're noisy. And
concussion.
I berated a buddy until he took his off because I got so sick and tired of shooting next to him at the line.
Yeah.
So speaking of Daniel Defense rifles, he bullied me into this.
I did, just a little bit.
A lot. I was looking at getting a new duty rifle setup. I had a nice competition rifle setup. I was trying to push in that duty roll, the general purpose rifle roll. I don't know what that phrase is. The basic generic AR-15 setup.
Yep.
I wasn't really happy with some of the results I was getting with it, and he was able to talk me into buying something. So I too went with the Daniel Defense. I went the DDM4 V7. I have short, fat little fingers, so I don't like the girth that the quad wheel gives you. I prefer like the slimmer line stuff. So that's why I went with the M-Lock. Similar setup. I don't have a light on there yet because I haven't even shot this thing yet. It came in 2 days ago. I got everything mounted on it, and I haven't even been able to get out there and shoot it yet. So thoughts to come on this particular rifle, whether it was worth the money I spent on it or not. It will be. It's fine. It's fine. For me, I don't have a flashlight. I'm going to probably go with something like him. One of the scout lights he's got on his. Right now, I have a D-Ball i2. It's an infrared only laser aiming module because I actually have nods. If you don't have nods, don't worry about running that. I have the newer Strike Eagle 1-8. I went with it because it was a fair amount cheaper than the competition of the comparable other ones. Yep. And for the purposes, it'll work just fine. I don't really have any other modifications. This is a stock one. They upgraded, I guess, at some point in time to I think you called it a grip and rip charging handle.
Ambidextrous charging handle.
I like it. It's better than the extended charging handle on another rifle I have because it's not as far out, but it lets me get a good solid purchase.
Yep.
It does have the ambidextrous safety, which I actually have come to like because I'll just be lazy and turn the safety off with my firing. With my trigger finger as opposed to trying to manipulate the thumb. Other than him, I got a sling. This is I think it's a red wire gear. It's a 2-point quick adjustable sling. And when I bought it, it came with just the stock Magpul stuff. I have a hard time justifying hundreds of dollars for little parts like this, so I tend to just run stuff fairly stock.
Yep. And we had that conversation. You straight up asked me, like, is the DD furniture worth the extra few $100s? And I was like, no.
It was no. Seriously going to be $300 with a 20% discount that we got.
Yeah.
And so it would have been a $600 discount for difference for everybody else.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it's not worth
it's not worth it to me.
Absolutely not.
No.
So it doesn't do anything for the functionality of the gun. So
yeah, it'll work just fine. And then the last thing we want to talk about is our little specialty guns right here.
Yep. So this is basically bump in the night type gun. This one is my go-to. This is like primary. Like this is it. This is more if I don't have time to get to this or the wife's home and this is kind of the wife's gun.
Yeah.
Still a great gun to plink around and play with. I still do put a number of rounds through it. But it's a 7-inch gun. It's in 5.56, not 300 blackout. Not that there's anything wrong with 300 black, but I prefer to shoot 5.56. Yeah. Very, very special. Very specialty roll. It's in the top drawer of my dresser. Pull it out, rack it, turn the light on. Very short gun to be able to maneuver indoors. I have a red dot because of site acquisition. This is not intended to shoot out a distance whatsoever.
A red dot works fine up to about 100 or 50 yards against a full man-sized target.
It does, yeah, especially, and this does.
After that, it gets a little bit squirrely.
It does, yep, especially when you start talking about your 2, 3, 4 MOA dots.
Your bigger dots, and a big part of magnification is target identification. But we can definitely talk about that in another video.
Yep, and we can totally dive on this, but it's a dot with, I love the EOTech, it's got the donut of death. Essentially, it's, hey, what you're shooting at, put it within the ring, and you're gonna be solid. Don't have a light on it because, like I said, this is for my house. If I'm not going to be searching and clearing rooms or anything like that, basically going to be somewhere safe in a defensive position, making sure all the kids are behind me, and it's my house again. I'm going to have the ability to turn lights on. So
I have something kind of similar. I do have a light on mine. So I have, instead of I think yours is a 7.5 inch gun. 7-inch, straight 7. Mine is a 10.5 inch. Mine does have the light on it. This is my primary home defense rifle. Once I've tested this guy, I'll go to this guy and I'll do something similar to where this will be the wife's gun if, crap kicks off pretty bad.
Right.
I do have a flashlight just because I have lived in places where we've had really bad power outages for days at a time. And so the option to turn a light on isn't always there.
For sure.
So a light for me is just something really quick to add on there. I got the light. It's a 10.5 inch. I built this one myself, a lot of arrow parts, a lot of Faxon parts. And I take it out to our agency trainings because we're running the shorter rifles now. And so I just take this one out to shoot all the time. It's been pretty good. I've just got a cheaper red dot. I've got a Hollow Sun. It does actually have that same donut of death, sort of, I think the 65 MOA reticle with the small little dot in the center. And I like that same thing. Very quick for target acquisition. You can just pull it up and, oh, hey, the circle is over what I need to shoot at. And it's good enough for me. Anything else to add about these?
No, not without going into a deeper dive of what these weapons are. I know I did a little bit on this, but
you are a rifle guy.
I am a rifle guy.
So we were trying to keep this video short and sweet. Kind of just talk about a brief overview, kind of the categories and the philosophy of why we have different weapons set up a different way. We will be doing deep dives into all of this sort of stuff. Maybe the individual weapons, or at least the categories of those weapons.
For sure. Absolutely.
All right, with that, guys, get out there and put in the work.
Absolutely.